Here.
Dale Sowers.
Here.
David Bragg.
Here.
Jim Quinn.
Here. Okay. Let's all stand for the pledge and invocation, please. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, thank you for this beautiful day. And Lord, we pray now as we come together to conduct the business of this town. Pray for your guidance. Draw us together. Make us a community. We lift up these prayers in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Before we approve the agenda, I want to add under other business, closed session between the attorney and client. Okay? So that'd be under other business, a closed session for the attorney and client. All right. Do I hear a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Approval of the minutes of the February 6, 2023 meeting. Hopefully you had time to read the minutes. If there's no changes, do I hear a motion to approve the minutes as written?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Department report. Code enforcement officer. See.
I think he's still outside in conference.
Okay. How about Westport Fire and EMS?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, council and citizens. For the month of February, Western Carteret responded to 127 calls. That was a little bit on the low side, which is good. We've actually been praying for a few less calls so we can not beat up on those ambulances that we're trying to make work until the new ones arrive. So 100 of those were EMS calls, 17 were fire related, 2 were MVCs or motor vehicle crashes or rescue related, and then 8 were other, which could be a number of different things. It could be service calls and what have you. 78.7% of our calls, as usual, are in the EMS section. Again, as I always let everybody know, that's the bulk of our call volume is EMS. And it runs between 70 and 80% usually. So for this year so far, we're running a little bit behind last year, which again, that's a good thing for us. We're going to take that as a blessing and keep moving on until we get those new ambulances here. So that's the call volume report. I also have, for the first time, our new fire marshal sent in a fire marshal's report that he will be sending me every month. And for the month of February, he completed 32 inspections as he works to get all of the commercial occupancies in the 4 towns inspected. And that's what our fire marshal does. He does the inspections for commercial occupancies in the 4 towns. And he's got about 500 commercial occupancies to keep up with and get caught up with. So he's got 32 in the first month, and he's going to be going, he's trying to average 4 or 5 a day. And he is a go-getter, so he'll get us all caught up and we'll be in good shape. For plan review, he did 6 plans reviews, and fire prevention 5 different programs. Some of that was for school staff. The school staff wanted to see what we had to offer, the fire safety trailer that we have that is like a learning tool for the children. The school staff wanted to see that and get a feel for how that can be utilized. So that went very well as well. And then training hours for the month, he had 17, 16 hours of fire code research, which is a lot of what he has to do for his inspection job. 4 meetings that he attended, and dealt with 2 complaints or concerns. So when we get people that complain in regard to fire inspections or fire safety type issues, he handles those. He will also, within the 4 towns, if we get a call for an illegal burn or a suspected illegal burn, he will go out and he will investigate those as well. And if those have to be put out, then he'll call us and we'll come out there and we'll put those out, and he will deal with the property owner as he needs to. Are there any questions that I can answer at this time? If not, that is the Western Carteret Fire and EMS Department report. Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Has the budget been sent to the county?
It's been sent to the county, yes, sir.
You recall what the budget amount?
Ms. Karen, I do not, right off the top of my head.
What is it, like 3,767,000?
I think that's about correct. Yes, sir.
That's fire EMS
Combined
for both stations.
for the whole district. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Was there an increase, Chief?
Yes, sir. We are requesting a 1 cent increase on the fire side and the EMS side this year. The reason for that is to be able to afford that fire marshal position, which was done for the 4 towns, and we needed an increase of 1 person to bring our staffing up to 4 per station. Yes, sir.
So you're asking a 1 cent increase in EMS and
And
fire?
fire, yes, sir. That's
One
correct.
on each side.
Okay.
Two trucks.
If there's any other questions from anybody, including the citizens, I'll try to answer them. Okay?
All right, thank you, Chief. All right, code enforcement officer. That's all right.
Thank you, sir.
She filled in for you.
All right, good evening, gentlemen. We are into February. The code enforcement efforts are as follows. Buck's Corner, I was keeping an eye on that one just to make sure they're keeping up with what we're keeping up with, and so far so good this year. I had a talk with the person that owns it, and he intends on making some moves as far as moving trailers, older trailers out and putting the newer ones in. His implementation on the plans, he told me over like 3 or 4 years. So he's not a big money guy, but he's just trying to make it work. 1105 Highway 58 is the old town hall, that big building there. That one's starting to, it looks okay from the outside now, but it looks like it's starting to swell. I don't know if that makes sense. It looks like it's about to bust open. I don't know. So I'm trying to have talks to him about keeping his stuff together and not straying from the fray, I guess. So we'll see how that goes with that one. Moving on, we got 169 Bucks Corner Road. That's the fellow that's kind of working towards getting his town license to switch his whatever his designation. So I'm not too worried about him. He'll get his stuff done. He seemed very happy about getting that done, actually. 124 Pettifer Road is going to be the criminal situation with the younger people that are ripping off the elderly next door neighbors. But they're also slobs too. So I got involved on both sides of it. And well, the one feller's still in jail, so, we're still gonna work that out once he gets out of jail. But he even stole their Jeep last summer. All right, let's see, 119 Pettifer Road is, oh, that's my, the one where they put the camper at in front. Really no movement on that, and I put that one kind of on the list there, as you can see, for, something to do, kind of awaiting the direction of how we want to go with that. It's one of like the 5 properties I gave you the last meeting. 390 White House Work Trade, same thing. Again, I saw realtors blocked out on it, but I haven't seen any movement on the property at all. It's still the same situation, high grass and everything else. Moving on. Mr. Warren popped up again at 301 Pettiford because he decided to build himself a shed in a cattywampus fashion on the north side of his property. Here's the thing, it's a 12 by 12 shed, so there's really no state it's a 12 by 8 shed in fact. So there's really no state regulation on it, and I did look into your, how about up, and the building inspector was like, no, he's fine. So the building inspector came out and circled and he did an inspection on it.
And it doesn't have to be tied down either.
No, because
There's something else.
because it is under a 12 by 8, no, it's under a 12 by 12, so there's no state regulation involved with the man building his shed, like he did. No state regulation. Now we move into the town regulation, and we had a discussion, because I went and talked to the mayor, and we kind of made an agreement that he'll get his permit for his shed retroactively if he cleans up his yard. Okay, because if you notice, if you look around this property, he's even got pine trees growing out the ditch. They're about yay big, kind of cute, but disgusting nonetheless. So he's got things to do to get his permit. So
And he don't care about a
that's
permit.
that, you know, I looked into that one a lot. All right, and, that's about all I got on that front. The sheriff's department side of Pelletier's business
He
here,
get a permit.
52
Come on,
calls
this
for
morning,
service
finish
last month, 14 calls for service from the ETJ, and that's basically, I just include the little itty bitties on the outside of your town limits, the ETJ, you know what ETJ is. But, not too far off, just like if you had a cop, how far would they respond? Okay, so 66 calls worth of service. And varying, everything from your dead, fentanyl overdose to the domestic situation, blah, blah, blah. Everything we handle on the cop stuff. Okay, here I included the, calls like usual. You can peruse through those at your leisure, I assume. Are there any questions of me, anybody?
Yes,
Good, sir.
what can we do to help you? What do you need us to do to help you get the grass mowed?
I would like, to be able to actually have some type of civil penalty I can levy upon a person if they don't follow the direction. Cause I give them a 30-day warning to get their mess cleaned up, and, after that, I've got nothing.
That's actually on your, for review this evening, that ordinance is on, yes, your agenda this evening.
It's in there,
Yes,
okay?
sir.
Yeah.
Fine.
I remember the attorney had mentioned at the last meeting he was gonna
Right.
work on that for us.
301 Pepperidge Road.
Yes, 301, Mr. Warren.
He has turned in a drawing.
I'm sure it's fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, I had to put the tape on it, but I have been by there.
You think it's bigger than 12 by 12?
That isn't it, he's not meeting the setbacks. By the distance, he's pulling the distance probably from the road to the shed.
From the road, it was what, like 30 feet?
He has 34,
34.
but the setbacks is up on the bank.
Mhm.
And I don't think he's meeting the setback.
You want me to?
I mean, we
You want me to talk to him again?
have a 60-foot right of way, so we have basically from the center of the road, 30 feet over, and then he's got his setback from
Well,
that.
give me his building's not my thing, it's on my purview. Give me the exact things you're telling me about, and I'll go tell him to make it happen.
Yeah, he's probably going to end up having to have a survey done.
They didn't even stop.
It's not in the right place, it's way too close to the road.
It's also crooked.
Chris, when the
Yeah.
inspector rode by, he rode by in his car.
Yes, ma'am.
He
rode by
didn't
his-
get out and measure anything.
Well, I read his report, and some miraculous way he got measurements. I'm just, I'm not the building inspector.
I'm the nosy neighbor.
And I'm the inquisitive cop. But,
No, I was just gonna say, it doesn't have to be tied down.
no,
Not if it's on skids, it should be, but nothing's in our ordinance.
and nothing's in the state ordinance. I've read.
Well, it's not on skids, it's on concrete.
It's on concrete, almost like concrete paper, so you can end up loose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if that thing goes flying, it'll destroy my front porch. That's great.
Which doesn't bode well for the whole lawsuit prospect effort. all over.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we can get his property and he can go away.
Okay.
All right, anything else? Thank you, Lieutenant.
Yes, sir.
All right, next on the agenda is the financial report. As of right now, our general account, we have $229,612. Cal bill, we have $32,990. You can see, our, income is, or revenue's getting a lot better now because, of collecting our taxes. We have bought in 92,400 so far this year, but have spent 97,447. And the biggest overage on that will be the town hall maintenance, which is the heat and air unit we had to pay for, which was $8,400. So that's what really kind of has us a little behind. Does anybody have any questions? All right. Planning report?
No report.
Okay. Commissioners report, Commissioner Quinn?
What's the breakdown on the church? How are we doing around there?
I just picked up the, building permit for the, handicap ramp and the repair around back. All the painting's done and all, it's just the handicap ramp and repaired the foundation in that back corner.
Okay. I think that's all I have.
That's good. Dan? Dan?
Nothing now.
Walker?
Quiet.
What? All right. Mayor's report, I just want to briefly let y'all know, February the 8th, I met with, David Bone from East Carolina Council. I believe there's a lot that they can help us with here in the town at a reasonable price. Their membership due is less than $300. So anyhow, he has been, we have set up a meeting for everybody. It's March 17th at 10 o'clock right here. That way the commissioners and the public can come. Questions from the commissioners will be, that's what we would need, but the public is, welcome to come and sit in. So anyhow, that is, March the 17th at 10 a.m. right here at the town hall,
At 10 a.m.
10 a.m. You need a wake-up call? Yeah, we will want you to notify the paper in case of.
We were just talking about that, yep, we'll make sure that happens.
And, just for the heck of it, those of you that live on White House Forks Road, within a year, your road's gonna be repaid. Yes, it's been needing it for a long time, especially when they messed it up, when they did the detour around there. So, anyhow, it's coming. All right, so now we'll move on to new business.
Mayor's report.
I just did. I'm leaving it short because we got a lot to do here tonight, so.
We do.
All right. Amend the noose ordinance, chapter 10, noose divisions, 1, 2, and 3, section 10:1 through 10:11. So, everybody has that ordinance. So, anyhow. Did anybody have any questions for the attorney? Yeah.
I have one question for the attorney.
Yes.
Is that typical of what other towns do, as far as an administrator of the program?
Well, yeah, a lot of towns have paid staff. So that was the issue there. I mean, I had to pick somebody, right? And so typically you would have like a planning and zoning administrator or staff member, and that would be the person enforcing these things. But since the town is limited as far as staff, that's where we went there.
Okay.
I mean, we could certainly change that, I just didn't know what else to put.
Now, does anywhere in here help Chris?
Yes, absolutely. What this does is it allows some objective criteria as far as when you'll be able to say, yeah, your grass is too long and things of that nature. Before it was just, if it doesn't look good or if it's noxious, or now we'll have an objective criteria where we can go out and actually measure it. And I think this process is going to be a lot better for him and specifically for me to be able to follow up with the enforcement side of it.
I think it specifically said 8 inches, right?
To that. Yeah, 8 inches, correct. As it relates to grass, right.
And then he will be able to summon some.
Right, we talked about kind of the different methods to go about it, and one is to actually, the town have somebody go out there and cut it and then bill it back to them if they don't do what they're supposed to do, which is probably the most effective method, is to, after we give them the notice, they don't do it, we go out there, we hire someone to do it, after we hire that person to do it, we pass that bill on to the owner doesn't pay that and gets collected as a property tax. So
Within 30 days, right? They have 30 days to pay it, or?
that's right. There's some timetables in here as far as paying the penalty within 30 days. That's right, yeah. Okay.
Good.
Certainly would be fair. I mean, the idea of this ordinance is to get compliance, right? So the idea is not, this isn't a money-making deal for the town. It's, let's get compliance, let's get people to do what they're supposed to do, and after they do that, then we'll, or if they don't do that, then we'll have a little bit more teeth to go after these folks.
And what would the town have to do, notify the tax office to?
That's correct.
To add it, and I guess they'll probably want some type of, paperwork or something?
Yeah, we'll just have to get with the tax office to see what they want, but it'll probably be an invoice from us or something along those lines, and we add it to their tax bill. And then, of course, that, you may not recoup that until the next year, because, you know, they only send out tax bills once a year, but it'll be effective, I think.
Let me ask you something though. Let's say we find someone $100, they didn't pay, and we're gonna turn it over to the county. The county withholds 2%, so are we gonna be able to add 3% to that money so that we get all of our money back?
So what would happen, in talking two different things, one's a fine and one is going out there and doing the work, right? So
Yes.
we can add to the tax bill the doing the work part of it. The fine part of it is something you have to get a civil judgment, which is not very effective. And that's why, I believe at the last meeting we talked about, maybe a month or two ago, we talked about probably the most effective way is actually doing the work ourselves, paying that person or entity to do the work, and then adding it to their tax bill. You may be on that 2%, but you know, it costs $40 to, you're talking just a very small amount, right?
Yeah, it could be, but if the grass is 8 inches tall, it's gonna take them more than $40 to
Yeah.
cut that grass.
I might get a lawn business coming up here.
I thought we had talked about maybe adding an administrative fee to the fine. Can we not do that?
I think we can. What type of, we would just need to know, I need to know what that administrative fee would be.
Well, I say it would be $175. Maybe whatever everybody else thinks. I mean, because we're talking about B's time, the mayor's time, Chris's time,
And waiting a year for your money.
and waiting a year for your
There
money.
you go.
Can I ask a question? No.
Okay. Yeah, we can certainly add that, an administrative fee to it.
Do we need to vote on it, or?
When you, if you were to, we need to have a public hearing on it, and then after the public hearing, if that's the only modification, I can just, you can say,
With the
as
amendment.
presented with the amendment of adding the administrative fee.
Fair enough.
Anybody else have any more questions? Everybody good to go? All right, then we're gonna move on, public hearing to adopt the nuisance ordinance. Chapter 10, nuisance divisions 1, 2, and 3, section 10 through 1, 10, 1 through 10, 11. Do I hear a motion to go in public hearing?
So moved.
Second?
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? All right, we're in public hearing. The public, y'all just heard what we had discussed. Does anybody have any questions? Yes, sir.
Cesar Colosso, I have a question to the lawyer. When they don't pay the fine and it goes to the tax office, my question, most people are renting, so they don't pay taxes, right, on the property. So how is that gonna help get, you know? Because most of the time he struggles getting the owners of the property to pay. So is there another way that maybe you can get renters to, because mostly are people that are renting, not the owners of the property where most of the problems happen.
But the owners will get the bill.
Yeah.
The owner's gonna have to have a tough conversation with their tenant.
Yeah.
If they don't, I mean, the owner's the one we're able to go after, as far as that goes, and then their tax bill's gonna have that on there, and I imagine that they have the control over the tenant to say, hey, look, you either pay
They don't
this
cut the grass if they
Because the only reason that I mentioned, because I remember the one right next to the Dollar General, the guy don't own the place, you know, he does what he can do in his end, but the rest is on the owner, right, and he's not doing it. And so I'm just trying to figure it out, you know, a scenario like that where the owner's not cooperating, they can find him or whatever, how is that renter, or, you know, how are we gonna be able to get that done, if the rent is people that own the property or not?
just got it on.
The owners have a contract with the tenant, right?
Okay.
So the owner's ultimately responsible for the property.
Okay.
And if the tenant's not doing what they're gonna do, supposed to do, then we're gonna be sending notifications to the owner
Okay.
saying, hey, we're about to go out there and cut your grass, it's gonna cost this much money.
Okay.
And if you don't do it, then, or you don't have your tenant do it, then we're gonna end up doing it and adding it to your tax bill. So that, I think it will, I understand what your question is, but ultimately, the owner's gonna be the one that's responsible, they have to comply with the ordinance.
Okay, all right, good.
Okay, anybody else?
I have a question. What if, like, say, they have to go out and they have to mow it, and maybe the owner doesn't respond or whatever, and it grows up, they don't do anything, and in like 4 or 5 months, it's so high again, has to be done again. Is there gonna be an escalating type fee for it to be the same thing again each time?
Yeah, it's called the cost of abatement, so I think you can add a reasonable administrative fee, but the abatement process is just passing it along. So
Okay.
again, it's not the town, it's not a money-making
Right.
venture for the town, it's to get compliance.
Well, I didn't know if it would take, if they didn't do anything the first time, like if it was worth their money for it to be done, if there's a way to make it harder so that they would actually like take care of it themselves or not.
Yeah, I understand the point, but the law for abatement is getting it done and not making money off it.
Okay.
Civil penalties, different, right? Civil penalties you can go for, but then you have to hire a lawyer to get a judgment.
Okay.
Are you ever gonna collect on it? Likely not. So this is the most effective way that I know of, the best tool in our toolbox to actually get compliance.
Okay, anybody else? Do I hear a motion to go out of public hearing?
I make a motion to, we go out of public hearing.
Second. Have a motion and a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we're out of public hearing. All right, do you have something there? Anybody, any discussion or anything?
Do we need to vote on administrative fee?
Yeah, so
That'll be with the motion.
Okay.
Like if you wanted to, make a motion to adopt the nuisance ordinance with the amendment of the $175, administration fee.
Alright.
That will work, right?
that's it.
Anybody want to make that a motion?
I make a motion that we pass it, as written, and to amend it, saying that there will be $175 administrative fee.
Understood.
Second. All right, have a motion and a second, to adopt the ordinance. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
I have a question. Are we putting the amount of that admin fee in there as well? Or is it
Yeah.
saying admin fee?
Yeah,
$170?
and I'll put it actually, I have it on my to-do list.
Okay, so that I can put that in the amendment when they take that, right?
Well,
Or do you want to do it?
I'll give you an updated ordinance,
Okay.
and I'll have that in there
Okay.
to reflect what you just passed.
All right, we'll move on. The next thing we have is racetrack. It's a appeal fine for ordinance violation.
Right, and just an update to this board, I've been in conversations with the owner's attorney, Mr. Weeks, and we've had some productive conversation. I'd ask that this be continued off for at least a month so that we can finalize this. The hope again is to achieve compliance and the fine rules and regulations that are beneficial to the town and the property owner. So I'm in conversations with him. I spoke with him about 2 weeks ago, 2.5, 3 weeks ago actually. Had a call to him today, missed him, but we're making progress on that. So what I would ask that this be continued off until the next meeting.
All right, do I hear a motion to table this to our April meeting?
So
Before we go there, I'd like to know, could you give us a little more information during the closed session?
That's precisely one of the reasons I asked for that closed session. Yes, sir.
Okay.
I second the motion.
All right, have a motion and a second to table for 30 days. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we'll table it until next month, which is April, or, April 3rd.
Yep, April 3rd.
All right, new auditor. William Scarborough and Gray, is eliminating their auditing services. So we need to find a new auditor. Lee Carroll's helping us with that.
Yeah, I gave you a copy of the list. He has recommendations, and then we also got a recommendation from BOC.
It's very productive. For a change.
Who, is it, Lee Gripson, is that who's,
Lee Grissom.
Grissom?
Yeah, Kate Carteret gave that information to BOC. And they contacted them, and then Sean also asked for our list. So she was gonna present our list to her board as well. So they haven't officially made a decision either. We were concerned about the distance.
Oh,
Like
from
Scarborough was convenient because they were in Jacksonville.
Yeah. I see, we got,
The closest one here is Newburgh,
yeah.
I think. Maybe Wilmington, I don't know.
I say we choose 3 and send a request for an estimate. The New Bern guy, the Jacksonville guy, and wasn't there a Wilmington one on there?
No.
We don't
We
have
don't have a
Jacksonville, we have
Jacksonville.
Newburgh and Wilmington.
You got New Bern, Wilmington, Keensville, Raleigh, Mooresville, and Greenville,
And Lumberton.
and Lumberton.
Let's get an estimate from the, closest. Three?
Closest 3.
Well, that'd be, what, New Bern, Wilmington, Greenville?
Yeah.
That's all right.
Okay. All right. So that's what we'll do. We'll bring this back up next month under old business, the auditor. Okay, next is, replacing the commissioner's seat. So anyhow, those who would like to make a nomination for someone, please raise your hands. Okay, Walter, you want to start?
Sonny Mason's here tonight. I wanna put Sonny's name in. I'll say Sonny. I haven't said it for, I don't know how many years, Sonny, but I know you've been in town here how many years?
37.
Yeah. And he was in the planning board before. And, fine, upstanding young man, so I'll put his name in. So I have to say a lot more about it, but that's, now I'm putting in.
Okay, Mr. Quinn?
I was wondering, are we gonna give him a chance to speak?
Both of them.
Okay, all right. Well, in that case, I wanted to say a couple of things.
We just want the nomination, please, sir.
No, I can say what I want to say.
No, I've asked for a nomination.
No, I can say what I want to say, I'm a board member.
Yeah, I know that, but we're asking for nominations, and then we're gonna allow.
I'm gonna make a nomination, this is a nomination. Good evening, Pelletier Board Commissioners and fellow Pelletier residents. We're here tonight to appoint a new commissioner. I would like to take the opportunity to discuss the qualities and qualifications that we should be looking for in the candidate who will serve our town the best. Let me say right up front that I don't know Sonny, and Sonny's probably a good gentleman, but Sonny hasn't been here to participate in our meetings. And he works for Dirt to Dreams. So now I'll talk about my nomination. Let us consider Donna Beerley, a longtime resident of Pelletier who has demonstrated an unwavering commitment to our community through her tireless work on several problems which Pelletier has faced in the last year. One initiative involved Donna personally collecting over 200 door-to-door signatures. She did so and involved as an involved resident, not a board member, but a resident. Donna has been a regular attendee of the town meetings for more than a year and has no personal or business interest other than helping our town. Donna is precisely the kind of public servant we need in Pelletier. She has the experience, dedication, and passion to represent our town with integrity and distinction. Donna has proven track record of serving the interests of our community. So I challenge my fellow board members and the mayor to consider Donna Beerley for the position of commissioner. And let us set aside any personal or political agendas and put the needs of our community first. And Commissioner Vinson, I call on you to make a motion that I will second to allow a straw vote for the citizens who are present here tonight. Those were your words last month. You said that I didn't need anybody to tell me who to nominate except you people, and you pointed out here. I make the suggestion tonight because the two of y'all made similar but different statements last month that the public should be involved in what happens here. So would you be willing to entertain that idea?
What I said, you took it out of what I said wrong, Tim.
Okay.
What I said was no one puts words in my mouth about what I am going to do. I'm going to do whatever I feel is best for the town and the town's citizens. That's what I said I was going to do, and that's exactly what I'm doing.
Okay.
Mr. Quinn.
All right, so I'm just about finished. So we don't want to entertain that.
Don't misquote me what I'm saying. No,
I'm not misquoting you.
Okay.
In conclusion, let us choose the candidate who has proven her commitment to Pelletier time and time again. Together, let us vote for Donna Beerley and usher in a new era of progress and prosperity for our town. Thank you.
Okay, now, I know y'all asked let the two nominees, have us say. So this will be the time, the nominees will be allowed 5 minutes and it will be time. So, Ms. Beardley, would you like to start?
Well, I want to thank you for allowing me to speak, and I spoke to most of you individually, and thank you. And thank you, Commissioner Quinn, for nominating me. So a year ago, I showed up here asking for your support with my petition to reduce speed on Pelletier Loop. and you listened, and you supported my efforts, so thank you. Subsequently, many residents repeatedly asked me to help with the intersection of West Fire Tower and Pelletier Loop, so I pursued this. After many phone calls, emails, sending in photos, DOT ran crash histories, evaluations, and completed repairs such as filling in holes and repaving, including fixing that giant pothole off of 58, Highway 58. I continue to fight to improve our dangerous intersection. After speaking at the Comprehensive Transportation meeting, our County Commissioner, David Quinn, contacted me and asked me to join the county's newly formed bike task force that will also address traffic issues in Pelletier, and I agreed. I did a little work at the church, a little. Most importantly, I learned so much by showing up and asking questions, and I supported your efforts to repair the church. As you know, the vegetative yard waste site ordinance was a huge undertaking. I never planned or expected to have this journey with Pelletier. Yet I have not missed one town hall meeting since I started coming here a year ago. I showed up every time, which is why I'm aware of the issues facing Pelletier right now, and I am prepared. I moved here 18 years ago when one of my only neighbors was Miss Adelia Jenkins, who donated the church. It was all farmland. In the past 18 years, I've come to appreciate the people and the history of Pelletier. And I see the importance of preserving and protecting our area and making good decisions as we move forward. I raised my kids here, successfully homeschooling them. I was a consultant, a tutor, a counsel of juveniles, and I worked with the district attorney with witnesses and victims. My former career was as a federal investigator dealing with national security, and I've even been licensed as a private investigator. And after helping at the church, well, I could be considered a professional paint scraper. I'm actually proud of that one. Although I think I'd be fired as a painter. I think the mayor would agree with that. My background and experience is different, which I think adds value. I hope you and the Pelletier residents see that my only agenda for serving our small town is to improve the quality of life with a reasonable and a realistic approach. I'm not a flamethrower. My strengths are that I am willing to listen, learn, ask questions, and follow through. I've even been utilizing the UNC School of Government resources for learning. I'm kind of a little bit of an overachiever, in case you haven't noticed. I've worked on building relationships with DOT from the local level up to the state level, other state officials, local law enforcement, and county commissioners for only one purpose, and that's to benefit Pelletier, to hopefully get them to help us. And it's working. More importantly, most importantly, I believe I can work with every one of you up here, every one of you, in a positive way that benefits our town. I know some of you are considering someone else. I respect that. But I'd like to ask you to reconsider and vote for me. Thank you. Thank you, all of you gentlemen.
All right, Sonny.
I'm Sonny Mason. I've lived at 226 Mill Branch Court for 36 years. I bought my land in 1987. I built a house there in 1996. I've been here in Pelletier. I was on the first planning board for Pelletier. I'm concerned about what happens in Pelletier. You know, I know everybody says he works for Dirt and Dreams. He runs a place up here. He's building this. I work a job. That's my job. Who I work for, I'm sorry. But first of all, that's not Pelletier. I understand it's at the entrance of Pelletier. But what we're doing there is going to bring better quality to our town. Everything there. It's not going to be halfway done. It's going to be nice. And it's going to be what? I mean, people are coming down here every day anyway. So we're going to give them somewhere to go. So I don't know how to answer your question, Mr. Quinn, what you said about that. that I work for Dirt and Dreams, that's my job.
Well, I mean,
Just let him finish.
I've always been here in Pelletier. I'm concerned, when Walter was the mayor, he was a good mayor, Mr. Sowers is a good mayor. And I'm here for the town of Pelletier. I'm not going anywhere. I've got 2 acres of land, I'm not going anywhere. And I just wanted to get involved in the town of Pelletier and what goes on here. So maybe I can give you some insight on what's going on around. I don't have the big layout that Miss Donna did, that was very well done, by the way.
A lot of work.
But, I mean, I'll answer any questions you got, to the best of my ability. But I feel like, you know, I want to be on this board so that I can see what goes on in Pelletier and help what goes on in Pelletier. So,
what would the most important characteristics of commissioner be?
what would it be? To be to the meetings, to put your input in, and to have a vote, and let the people have it. I mean, at the end of the day, we're here for the people of the town of Pelletier. That would be my job, sitting behind that bench.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. Now we've heard from the nominee. Now it's time to vote. So all of those in favor of Donna Beardley, raise your hand. Okay. All of those in favor of Sonny Mason, raise your hand.
Mr. Mayor, since you have a tie here, then you have 2 options. You can continue on to vote again and vote again and vote again. Or one of you, either side, can make a motion for their candidate. And then if there's a tie at that point, then the mayor can make a decision. That's when you're voting, be the tiebreaker.
We can do what now?
So the mayor votes in the event of a tie when there's equal affirmative and equal against. In this process, right now we have 2-4 and 2-4, right? So someone's going to need to make a motion for their preferred candidate. And then if it receives a second, then you'll vote. If it's a 2-2, then the mayor would have the deciding vote because there would be a tie at that point.
So I have to make a motion to nominate Sonny again?
Well, to approve, not to nominate him, but to approve him as the next, fill the
Gotta make
vacancy.
another motion.
Yes.
So moved.
Second.
And now there would be a discussion period.
Okay.
So they discuss.
That they discussed, right, you can discuss, just like any other motion, so we got a motion and a second, and this will be discussion at this point.
It's the same thing we just did now.
Yes, basically the same thing, right? If you wanted to speak for Sonny,
Sonny, everybody knows Sonny with those situations, and I know Don. It's hard to, I think the world of Don, and she'd make an excellent commissioner, no doubt about that. But I've already, Sonny, I've encouraged Sonny to run for commissioner for 30-some years. And, I mean, I've encouraged him to take this job. And I called him whenever Overby resigned, whenever I was appointed to this position. I knew that we were gonna be, I didn't know that,
He's not been to a single meeting.
when I was appointed,
No.
I knew we would have to fill a vacancy after, you know, I took, someone else's place. So when Overby retired, I knew we were gonna have somebody to replace him. Sonny was the first name that come, the first person that came into my mind. And, I called Sonny and asked him would he do it if we brought his name up. He said he would. And so that's how that came about. At the time, I had talked with Donna some, and she's since changed her mind about wanting to be a commissioner, and she would be an excellent one. And, but the first time I talked with her about this, and, but I got to stick with who I have, but it'd be kind of hard for me to turn against Sonny since I asked him to take the position. So, that's my position. There's no doubt in my mind that Donna would not be an excellent commissioner. But I'm gonna have to support Sonny with this thing.
okay?
No other discussion, you just call for a vote.
All right, let's call for a vote. All for, Sonny Mason, raise your hand, please.
All for Don Beardley, raise your hand, please. Okay. I'll go put into this. You know, when this first came up, you know, Miss Beardley had told me that she didn't want the position and all that. So I was in with Walter, you know, and after Walter brought Sonny up, I talked to Sonny, and so my vote's for Sonny. Nice.
Then we had to do, did you have to do Donna again?
No, that's it. You got a majority now.
Okay, got you.
So anyhow, next month, we'll swear, Mr. Mason in, and he'll
Well, if
take
he's on the
seat.
council, is he gonna show up for meetings or no?
Public comments,
No.
public comments. All right, we'll
I'll-
move on,
let me-
old business.
Let me say something real quick,
There you
because
go.
I just wanna wrap things up here. I'd like to make a comment to encourage you gentlemen to be more transparent and offer more communication with the public outside of these meetings. Tonight, we talked about ordinances, we talked about other, reports that were not provided to the public. I would like to request that more information be made available for the citizens to access without having to come in here during the business hours.
I don't understand what you're talking about by being transparent. I think we've been as transparent as you can
Well, I think
get.
it's all pretty obvious what we just witnessed.
Well, I don't think it is. You tell me.
I think it would be really beneficial for the town of Pelletier to offer more of these, whatever these discussions are that are not being held publicly, to be offered to the public.
Did you discuss everything in your life with everybody around your community?
I'm not an elected or an
I
appointed
don't
commissioner
understand
for a
that.
town.
But it'd be kind of impossible for me to go around every time we start talking about, go to your house and say, look, here's what we're gonna do.
Well, I think that would be very counterproductive. I couldn't agree more. I think it would be very easy for us to make a plan to offer more consistent
I don't understand
communication.
what you're talking about.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Transparent, I don't understand that at all. I just don't understand it.
I can
Does
get that.
can anybody else help me with that, please? What does he mean by
Well,
non-transparency?
I don't understand myself, because, you know, some of the reports we don't get until tonight. Our minutes, we don't usually try to hand them out until they have been approved by the board. When nominees were brought up, I just went and asked them what, you know, just asked them questions. It was nothing out of the ordinary. So I don't know what I mean, we're
Well, just
pretty
looking-
well open book. You know, we're not trying to hide anything.
Well, for example, the nuisance ordinances, I was not able to find anything of that available. These, like, whatever is being written on these agendas.
We don't hand out drafts. The
I can speak to that. The nuisance ordinance, I mean, the public hearing is publicized in the newspaper. So by that statute, that's required, so, and then that was handed out to this board at their last meeting, and anybody can request a copy of that, so. I think you were here at the last meeting when it was handed out, but certainly, anything that's handed to the board is a public record, and anybody that requests it can certainly get a copy of it at any time.
Right, and that is the thing, of course it is available, thank God, but I am just asking for you to make more of a conscious, intentional effort to be more communicative with the town and with the people, because as you see, we have the same people showing up every week to these meetings, and I would like to, I mean, certainly we can all agree that it would be beneficial to have more people involved in these meetings. Okay.
I want to say something now. Can I say something real quick? I just want to say thank you, but I may not have gotten this vote, but I feel like I won because I showed up here. And I would hope that other people show up here and come forward. And I'm not going anywhere. I've done a lot of work for this town. I'm going to continue to do it because I don't know. I just can't seem to help myself here. And I care about this town. And yes, I think I should have been up there, but it's okay. I'm not angry. And I just want to say I won because I I showed up, and I didn't let fear prevent me from coming forward. And I hope, if nothing else, it encourages others to do the same.
Thank you.
Yep. Anybody else?
I would just have to say that for someone that has given so much to Pelletier, and you know she has, although at the first time she told you she wasn't interested, once she changed her mind, everything she's given this town, she deserved the vote. She's been here, she's done the work, and you know that. So although, I mean, everybody can change their mind, she did change her mind in plenty of time. It's not like she changed her mind yesterday. I'm just saying she deserved your vote. That's my 2 cents on it.
Anybody else? Okay, we need old business and vegetation waste ordinance.
Yes, update on that. Ms. Beerley did provide me with all the research that, it's gonna take me some time to digest it, to be quite honest with the board. She did a Herculean task in research, and there's a lot to digest, and I just wanna make sure at the end of the day, what this board passes is something enforceable, accomplishes your goals, and ultimately is in compliance with law. So I appreciate her providing this information to me. I got it on February 9th, I think, I don't know if you emailed it or if you emailed it, okay. But I do appreciate that information. It's background, and I'm walking through that. It may be a month or two before I feel comfortable on a recommendation, but I just want to let you know that that is still on my plate. And I think it took probably many months for you to do. Yeah, it's not a simple ordinance, and has a lot of complexities to it, so.
She did an excellent job, didn't she?
Yeah, she spent a lot of time on it, that's for sure.
Okay. There is one more thing I wanted to say. I think Sue can testify to this, and Dan can testify to this. When Donna turned down the, when she said that she didn't want the position as commissioner, we're working hard to get her on the empty seat of the planning board. And, you know, so we have had plans for Donna. We weren't just pushing her to the side. We had already started campaigning with the county to get her on our planning board. So to put out there that we just kind of pushed Donna to the side is wrong.
I had to wait. That's what I had to do.
You know, it just,
What?
you know,
I
not,
had to wait till this vote came up before we could continue, Donna.
so anyhow, we have been working to get Donna involved with our planning board, and then that way she can move right on up, just like most of us have, off of the planning board to a higher seat. So, just so that y'all know, we didn't overlook Donna. We were already working with Donna for a different position. So, anyhow, the next on the agenda is a closed session. Do I hear a motion that we go into closed session for the attorney-client conference? I have a motion, a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We'll go into closed session. Cut the camera off.